What does it take to wow a customer today? How do you differentiate your business, your culture, product capabilities in a way that makes you truly memorable for the right reasons? And what's the technology that's going to help you do that? I'm Leandro Perez, Vice President of Marketing for Salesforce Asia Pacific, and I'm excited to be hosting another Salesforce Executive Conversation, where our executives share their thoughts, perspectives, and experience working with C-suites and other thought leaders around the globe. We've already had so many incredible conversations. If you've missed an episode, you can catch up at sfdc.co/conversations. Today, I'm talking with Tableau Chief Product Officer, Francois Ajenstat. After almost 12 years at Tableau and various technology companies, Francois has acquired an amazing depth and breadth of experience, from strategic and product management to sales, marketing, and technical. More than that though, he's about the most passionate data evangelist you're likely to meet. Welcome, Francois.
Thanks, Leandro. It's so great to be here again.
Now, we know each other quite well, but for the folks online, do you mind if we do a few icebreakers?
All right, let's do it.
Francois, do you have a nickname? I'd love to hear it.
Well, first, they just call me Francois.
Francois.
No last name.
Okay.
I'm like Prince or Cher.
I'm liking
I
this.
just have one name. But my coffee shop name, I call myself Frankie Two Chains.
Frankie Two Chains.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. That's staying on your ID.
Uh-oh.
We need a new badge here. We need a new badge. Now, tell me, Francois, at school, was there an area you shined or something that you were particularly into?
I love science and mathematics, and I was always good at describing, what I wanted to do, but I was never really good at programming or anything like that.
Right.
I was never good at arts, but I was always good at describing and connecting with people. And I would say that in school, I was a great connector. I really brought people together, and I think that's a skill I still do today in my job and in the community.
I can totally connect with that. Narrative, messaging, it's a key skill of marketing, so I love that. Now, tell me, I've heard that data is in your blood.
Deep in my blood.
Where does that come from? Is that connection of being able to tell stories about what you see in the world, where does that come from?
When I think about data being in my blood, it's something that I connect with really personally, because I've seen the impact of data that it can have on people, on communities, on companies. And when I go back to school, I think back to my favorite classes. It was database classes, because data always tells a story. Data is life. It's all around us. And I just find that it's really powerful when you can think about the impact of data. And it's not just a tool. It is truly game-changing. And that's why I get so passionate about it.
Data is life. That's a powerful statement there, and I'm going to use that today. I'm going to use that.
Well, it's true. We always say that data is the oil of the 21st century. It's incredible, but I actually disagree with that. Data is like air and water. It's required to survive and thrive, and it is essential for life. It's essential for companies to be successful. And when you think about that, that is so powerful for what you can do with data.
There's a lot of people tuning in now that I think are going to resonate with that. They're probably going to take that clip, take it to their boss, take it to the CEO. I love it. Now, taking you back a little bit to high school, you talked a lot about data rock stars. Was there an actual rock star in the making at high school? I've heard some things. I'm not sure. Is that true?
I don't know what you've heard, but I love music. And music really changed my life. I was really into punk rock and the Sex Pistols and the Clash and the Ramones. And I wanted to be one of them. So I had my guitar and I started playing at home, and I was really not that good. I was really not good. But this idea of being a rock star, I think has actually permeated my life and has actually permeated the Tableau community, because we describe our data people as data rock stars, because they're truly impacting people with data.
Wow, I'm glad we didn't bring your guitar here, because I'm like maybe getting to play. But you know what? I love that,
That's okay.
and I love the community. It's true. I think giving them that moniker is really empowering. Now, you do a lot of things today. How would you describe your job to 10-year-old self, or to other younger folks that might be listening to this? What is it that you do day in, day out? And maybe you can share that to folks that aren't that familiar with the industry.
So I'm a Chief Product Officer. And really what that means is that I help create the future of the product. What is our product strategy? Where should we go? And how do we build the best possible products for our customers? And so a way of thinking about it is that I'm really trying to align what we build and why we build it. So think of a car company. Should we become an electric car company? And what's the opportunity? Do we build an SUV? Do we build a compact car? And so a lot of what I try to do is connect the customer opportunity, the customer pain, with opportunities of solving that. And that, at the end of the day, I solve problems. And I solve problems on behalf of our customers.
Everyone loves a problem solver. I definitely love one. And I know at Salesforce, our customers appreciate it when we solve real tangible problems. So no, love that. Now, Francois, we met just over 3 years ago when the Tableau and Salesforce families came together. How's that all going? It's been a little tricky with COVID, I imagine, but what's the latest?
It's been amazing, and it was great to meet you back then. And I just gotta say, it's been so amazing to be part of the Salesforce family. You know, when Tableau joined Salesforce, it was a great marriage of technologies, but companies that aligned around values. You know, values of trust, customer success, innovation, equality. And really the cultures have come together to help bring the customer 360 to life. And when you think about the customer 360, well, guess what? Between sales, service, marketing, commerce, all of that is generating tremendous amounts of data. And that data, it's a goldmine of insights. And Tableau is the best way of unlocking that data and making it actionable. And so it's been great. We've been adding new innovations to connect Tableau and MuleSoft to unlock even more data. Bringing Tableau inside of Slack so you can communicate with your data just like you communicate with a colleague. We've brought revenue intelligence right inside of Sales Cloud, so you have actionable insights in the sales process. And that's just the beginning of the amazing things that we've done together. And it's been great. Ultimately, our goal is to make analytics a superpower of every Salesforce cloud. We want every Trailblazer to be a data rock star. And in fact, our own Trailblazer, Astro, is so excited about data that we've made Astro a data rock star. Here's Astro with his leather jacket, his little Tableau charm. But it's truly something that we believe every Trailblazer can participate in, get excited about data, and unlock the value that is locked away in that customer 360 so that organizations can grow and drive even more impact. It's just been absolutely amazing.
Now, Francois, I thought we were friends. Where's my jacket here? I wanted to get a leather jacket. Maybe next time I come visit you in Seattle.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we're in person now, so I'm going to hook you up.
And that's a great point. This is actually our first in-person recording of Executive Conversation. So
amazing.
You know, the world has changed a lot in 3 years, but now it's more the same as it was before, where we get to do this in real life.
It is. And it's so great to be reconnecting with each other, reconnecting with our community, our employees, and our customers, and the enthusiasm around data, around Tableau, and really using the customer 360 to better communicate with our customers is just such a unique opportunity for all of us.
Wow, Francois, I love it. Now, let's bring it back to the topic for today. We're in the age of data, I believe I've heard you say. Why is data so important today?
It is actually the age of data. You know, when we think about the world around us, data is really showing us the way. I mean, just think of how much the world has changed, the number of crises that are there. A health crisis with COVID, a supply chain crisis, an economic crisis, a war, a climate crisis. Throughout all these crises, we're actually generating a lot of data. And data is helping us understand the world around us and how to drive the impact that we want. You know, think about COVID as an example. You know, every day, people would look at the newspaper and see the latest data. But we're seeing that across the industry. And as we've seen through COVID, where we've had a dramatic acceleration of digital transformations, every one of those digital transformations is in fact a data transformation. We're creating more data about our customers than ever before, through more sources than ever before. But the difference between thriving and barely surviving is the ability to use that data effectively to deliver better customer service, better engagement, and really respond more quickly to all of the changes around us. And so data is showing us the way, and this is the era of data.
Pretty incredible. I guess we've become desensitized to how much data there is around us. And I like your point, though, of the folks that are really leveraging that is the ones that are going to get in front, right? Can you touch a little bit on the culture required to bring that into a company? Like, how do you become more data-driven or data-informed, I believe, is the new vernacular.
You know, it's interesting because CEOs want to be more data-driven. Over 90% of them say they want their companies to be data-driven. The reality, however, is that less than 20% of people have access to the tools. And so there's a huge dichotomy, the huge gap between the desire to be data-driven and the reality on the ground. Now, part of that is technology, obviously, but a big part of that is the culture. It is enabling and empowering people with the data. And what we've actually seen, we just released a study by Forrester Research that shows that when organizations provide data skills to their employees, it actually increases employee retention.
Wow.
And it drives better outcomes because now employees are able to make better decisions faster. So it is a combination of technology, obviously, but also data skills and improving data literacy and creating a culture around data that fosters curiosity, that fosters action, and fosters collaboration and engagement around data.
Wow, I love that stat though, like retention for employees, so critical right now in this time of, many people having opportunities, looking at where they want to work, where they want to live. And if you give them these skills that they may want to stay longer at your company, it's pretty incredible.
Absolutely.
Now, you also talk a lot about the ability and democratization of data. Obviously, back in my day, you had to do a analytics course at university to even have access to the tool, and there was a lot to go into understanding how to bring in data. Not everyone is going to do that path, and we also want to make sure that everyone has access to the data. So how do we make data more available to all? Can you share what you've been doing, what you're seeing in the industry?
Well, it's when you think about data skills, they are the skills of the future. If you go back 20, 30 years ago, people had to learn word processing in school. Right. You had to put that on your resume.
Some people still do.
People still do, but we don't do that really anymore. It's just expected as a core skill that every employee has, right, in order to be productive. Data skills will be the same in the future. And so what we're trying to do is really bring this data democratization to the masses by making data easy. But really, most people, they don't talk data. The thought of data scares them. And so what we have to do is change the paradigm to bring data to the people. Make data talk the language of people. And so one of the big innovations that we actually announced at our conference just a few weeks ago is this idea of data storytelling. We're all storytellers, and data does tell a story. But how do we make the machine automate the process of creating those stories? And so with data stories, we can actually convert data into a pure story automatically. And it's interactive. So you can get those insights presented in a way that you and I can understand really easily. And that opens up a whole new world of possibility. It enables more people to engage with data in a familiar way. And data becomes more like a newspaper. You log in, you see what are the headlines of the day. That's all data. And the more people that can work with that data, the more impact you're going to have, the more results you're going to drive for your organization.
It's really powerful, I think, that concept of thinking of this as what used to be a spreadsheet or a dot. Like who doesn't know how to use those tools now? And I think if we look, 5, 10 years from now, people are going to have those skills. And I love that, making it even easier, right? Having the computer help you do the work. At the end of the day, that's what we're here to help our customers
Exactly.
do, right? So I really, really appreciate that. So Francois, you just mentioned some announcements there at the conference. What else was announced? What might be interesting for the audience to know about?
Well, the conference was all about data democratization and making data easy. But really the 3 big themes were about speed, ease of use, and smarts. How do we bring analytics and make it accessible to as many people as possible? And that was our new Tableau Cloud announcement. How do we make it easier and enable people to think with data? And that's data stories. And how do we make it smarter so that you have not only understanding of what happened, but what might happen and what you should do about it. So we're adding predictive analytics inside of Tableau. And all those capabilities are truly about empowering organizations to unlock the full value of their data.
I love all those announcements, all those features there. The cloud in particular, it's very core to the heart of Salesforce. I'm assuming you heard a lot of positive feedback to that. Back in my day, you had to have a desktop server also. Is that all gone away? Is that completely now not needed?
Well, the cloud was a big hit at our conference because it's all about speed. Speed of delivery, speed of access, and speed of adoption. But in the data space, cloud adoption has actually been a little bit more of a laggard because there's this concept of data gravity, where people want to put their analytics closer to where the data is.
Right.
And most of the data in the world is on-prem, and so people would put their analytics on-prem. But there's been a dramatic sea change in the industry over the last 2-3 years, accelerated by the pandemic, but accelerated by new technologies, where there's now more cloud-borne data than ever before. And that's accelerated the adoption of the cloud. One interesting stat, people might think of Tableau as being the on-prem company or the on-prem tool. Today, more than 70% of all new customers start in the cloud. Over 70%. That is a dramatic change from just 3 years ago. And that is truly the best way of delivering innovation, but it's the best way of experiencing Tableau and delivering analytics value for customers.
It's an impressive stat there. And you mentioned the pandemic. Surely folks saw this as an opportunity, like you couldn't go to an office, right? So how are you going to get that analytics data out for folks to be able to use it? Has that given an opportunity for the C-suite to rethink their strategy, like you mentioned? Was this the move they needed to go in that direction?
Well, I mean, it is true that the world has changed. How companies operate has changed with the acceleration of digital transformations. How we work has changed, and now we don't have a physical headquarters anymore. We have a virtual, right?
Digital headquarters.
A digital headquarters,
Yeah.
absolutely. But when you think about that, and the need for speed, you need insights at your fingertips. You need it accessible anywhere, anytime. And so we had to reimagine how you deliver analytics that's more contextual, that's actionable, and it's personalized to each individual for their jobs. And so, when you think about the pandemic and thinking about needing to be data-driven, now we have to shift the paradigm from people going to the BI tools to get the insights, to getting BI and insights to the users where they work in the flow of their jobs. And I think that is really something that has changed. And we're seeing people doing that with Tableau everywhere.
I love that concept of insights in the flow of your work. Absolutely, like that's natural, a little bit like the conversational AI that you mentioned before. That's fantastic. Now, talking about data democratization, cloud, can you share organizations from across Asia Pacific that are leveraging data and building their data culture?
I mean, there are so many organizations that have really standardized on analytics and on Tableau to broaden the impact in their organizations. Companies from JPMC in financial services, where 90% of their employees use Tableau every single day.
Wow, okay.
I mean, that is truly a game changer for them. They have insights built into their applications so that people have the insights in the flow of their jobs. The executives start their day looking at Tableau, getting the insights, understanding what's going on. You've got organizations like Jaguar Land Rover, where over 70% of their employees are using Tableau to drive better data-driven decisions. And this is a top-down CEO-led initiative, and it has been transformative for them. Jaguar Land Rover, you might think of them as the car company, right? But they are transforming their culture. They're transforming their organization. They're becoming more agile as a result of these insights. And now people talk by using data instead of using their gut. They're using facts and insights to understand the realities around them and really react to the changing world. And this is something we see in every single organization all over the world. One that is close to my heart is Standard Chartered Bank. They have scaled analytics so quickly with Tableau that it's transformed their organization. They went from 10 users to over 10,000 users in just a few years. And Tableau is now seen as their YouTube of data. So just like people can upload their favorite cat videos to YouTube, with Tableau, they're now uploading their insights through this whole portal. And so Tableau has really become the place to go find insights and collaborate on data. And Standard Chartered is now not just a data-driven organization, they're an insight-driven organization. They're taking those insights and they're taking action. And it's transformed the bank. Every facet of the bank is now using data in Tableau to really drive better impact. Data has become the universal language at the bank, where people can really communicate in a way that makes sense, and they built this single source of truth around Tableau and around data.
Insight-driven organization, love it. I love the YouTube of data. This is such a great concepts there. I'm sure many people are going to take those away for their organization. Now, speed, driving insight is not just for the financial services industry. It's across all industries. How are you seeing that roll out? Is there things we're doing to help organizations?
Absolutely. I mean, data is universal. It's for any industry, any use case, and it helps bring, a process to life. So whether you're in financial services or retail or manufacturing, data can be used in so many different ways. So think about it in retail. How do you improve store operations? Understand where your supply chain issues so you have the right inventory to choose your products. Where you're going to place your stores. What's the best placement to drive the right engagement? In manufacturing, looking at supply chain, for instance, or quality. Data is really informative to help you understand the world around you. Now, what we've tried to do at Tableau is accelerate that time to value so that we can put together these use cases in simple and fast ways. We've now launched what we call the Tableau Exchange. Think of it as the app exchange for analytics. You can go on the Tableau Exchange and there are over 100 different accelerators for use cases in industries. So let's say you want to do HR analytics, you go to the Exchange, and there are a multitude of accelerators to solve your HR challenges. Or sustainability is a key topic for every single customer out there. We have ESG accelerators to help you inform your organization as to how you're doing on your sustainability goals and drive impact. One click away, easily scalable, and it's just accelerating the impact that our customers can have with data.
I love that concept of speed across industries. Now, you mentioned some great examples, which I'm assuming have been led by the C-suite, maybe the CEO. Who is driving the change in organizations? Is it coming from the top like that, or is it being more organic and sort of coming up from the grassroots?
It's an and. Some organizations are more top-down driven, where there are CEO initiatives that are really about creating this data culture. In many cases, it's actually coming from the bottoms up. And you might call that land and expand, but your employees, they want to have impact. And historically, they haven't been able to. And so they are using data in marketing departments. Think about having the voice of the customer, right? And understanding how your campaigns are doing. That's a data initiative. Think in HR, recruiting, retention. Those are data initiatives. And I think there's this tremendous opportunity of leveraging the organic innovation and empowerment that people have with these bigger strategic initiatives at the top and connecting those together. So it is this and. And it's also an and between IT and the business. It's an and between marketing and finance. And data can really amplify the results that you can have in an organization.
I love that concept of it's everyone's responsibility. We'll have many CEOs, CIOs, CMOs listening to this recording. What's your advice of how they could get started if they're on this journey maybe, or they're earlier on this journey? What would you recommend for them?
I mean, first is don't wait, right? You have data, but it's been locked away. And so start unlocking the value of that data and bring it to the people. Empower people to innovate on your behalf, to use that data to improve your organization. And so this idea of being more agile and empowering, I think, is really, really key. The second piece, especially in places like marketing, creating that single source of truth is really, really important, because they will drive better outcomes. And so at Salesforce, we built a customer data platform to help you harmonize all of those different data assets and get you that golden customer record that you can use to optimize your campaigns, deliver better services, and really ensure that you understand who your key customers are. In customer data, it's a gold mine. And we really want to help everybody unlock that customer data and bring it to the individuals that can improve those results.
Thank you, Francois. That was great. We've had an amazing conversation today, and I just want to give you my top takeaways. Firstly, we're in the age of data. Data is as important as air and water and absolutely needed to survive. Secondly, you want to bring a data culture to your organization. The skills we're talking about today are very, very important and will become basic for basically every role. Democratization of data. Everyone needs to be able to see and understand data regardless of their role in your organization. So we need to be taking steps to do that today. And last but not least, all industries from fins to RCG and everything in between can have these tools available. And it's increasingly important that no matter whether you're the analyst all the way up to the CEO, you get on this journey today. Thank you so much for the conversation today, Francois. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope to have you back in Sydney sometime soon.
Well, thank you so much. It's been great to be here. It's great to see you again, and I can't wait to be back as well.
If you want to catch up on the chats we've had so far, visit sfdc.co/conversations. We are covering the ideas and concepts that are top of mind for executives and leaders within business to share, inspire, and bring to you a success from anywhere approach to your business and your customers. We've covered, amongst other things, creating your digital headquarters, balancing the customer experience versus the employee experience, the cookieless future, and today, the age of data. Thank you for tuning into our Executive Conversations. See you next time. I feel like we're doing a lesson here. Masterclass.
That's right.
In stage theater. This is when they tell me that sucked.
Right.
Can you do it again? Oh, just the opening. Data is like air and water.
That's
All
right. It's required to survive and thrive.
Oh gosh. Watch out. Cut. I'm like holding. That was awesome.